A few days ago, we ringing the new year with old friends and new friends on The Vibe. You might remember the band Taylor Shop with their signature shades and their ingenious reinterpretation of traditional Chinese instruments such as the guqin and the pipa. Well, they're also part of the ongoing reality music competition show in China, which is taking the idea of China chic to a whole new different level this season, where you see traditional suona being played like a saxophone. Next, we're gonna head backstage where contestants are getting ready, and we're gonna learn a few tricks from Taylor Shop to rock the guqin like they did on our show.
I'm now outside the contestants' rehearsal rooms, and I'm supposed to see some traditional Chinese musical instruments here today as they play an indispensable part in GUOCHAO music. Is that jazz? I thought the contestant I'm meeting plays the suona.
Shi Rongshan is able to perform jazz with his suona, which is typically a loud and high-pitched instrument. But he can achieve some very unique sounds thanks to a small device attached to the mouthpiece invented by master GUOCHAO in 1993.
When you push it, you can have a semitone. A traditional suona has a smaller range and the semitone pitch is difficult to control. The gadget significantly broadens the expressive force of the instrument.
The suona is usually played alongside other traditional Chinese musical instruments, such as drums and sheng by folk bands at weddings and funerals in rural northeastern China. Shi says he wants to give it a contemporary twist.
Some may say that I'm trying to imitate the tone of a saxophone, but I'm not. It's very obvious that it is still the tone of suona. Although I can play the suona in a way that gives people similar feelings when hearing a saxophone, but a saxophone cannot sound like a suona. I think that's what makes the instrument amazing, as it can be used to play various genres of music.
Now I'm visiting a band called Taylor Shop. They're going to teach me some of the basics of playing the guqin. This 7-string Chinese musical instrument has been played since ancient times. I've seen a performance on TV, but I've never touched it before. 王老师您好。
嗨，你好。
您能教我一些这古琴的基本的指法吗？
可以啊，来，捏起来，然后用大指去推它啊。对，首先要放正，不能倒着放正啊。就是你收回来的时候，它是像一个龙眼。等你挑出去的时候，它变成一个凤眼，看到没有？有没有？龙眼、凤眼、龙眼、凤眼、龙眼、凤眼。
然后放到这里。
对。
Well, it has a very tranquil sound.
刚才这课费先结一下吧。
Of course, Mr. Wang was just kidding. And to complete my sentence, I didn't see how it can be part of pop music. Then Wang showed me how I was wrong. The band also uses some revised Chinese musical instruments, like the electric versions of the guqin and pipa.
It's not necessarily that the electric versions are easier to be used for popular music. It depends on the elements we need. If we need a traditional sound, then I will use the original instrument. If we need something that sounds different, then I will use the electric version.
The experimental music does not end with illustrating what traditional musical instruments can do. There are also performances that are a mix of spoken word and song. Their adaptation of 梅花三弄, a theme song for a TV drama first released in 1993, went viral on Chinese social media and even got 720,000 views overseas.
We are considering adapting ancient poems or folk tales into our work. We want our music to be vivid and imaginative. We might also try out doing stage shows.
Another two contestants are a duet, who don't want to be constrained by any certain music genre.
So far, we seem to be the only duet in the world that is composed of a bamboo flute and a variety of percussion instruments. At this show, we have partnered with a vocalist to present various styles of music.
The duet wants to create a new trend instead of following what is mainstream.
Without being labeled, we can incorporate different elements and cultures into our work. We believe GUOCHAO music means something charming created by contemporary Chinese people.
The producer of the show says, GUOCHAO music is not a music genre, but a proposition assigned to the contestants, asking them to blend multiple elements and create something that will attract a younger audience.
现在的年轻受众跟我们以前小的时候不一样。我们小的时候那个时候是国门。
Today's younger generation is different from us when we were young. Back then, we were the first generation to see imported things, and we wanted to see more foreign stuff. We thought they were better quality, from home appliances to clothes and shoes, and we wanted to know more about foreign culture. But for Gen Zers, they have a broader horizon, as they have had easy access to the internet since they were very young. It allows them to view various cultures fairly and judge by themselves.
In fact, the recent GUOCHAO trend that extends from the fashion industry to food and cosmetics is driven by the young consumers' desire to buy domestic products with traditional elements. Data from Youku.com shows people aged between 18 to 24 account for 30 to 40% of the reality show's total viewers.
I listen to various styles of music, so I'm also interested in GUOCHAO music. The show makes traditional musical instruments more appealing, and I guess some viewers may even take up learning an instrument.
I've listened to fusion in the past, but I think the performances in this show present more details of traditional elements. It's like showing people a specific dish in a certain region rather than merely telling people it's Chinese cuisine.
And some proposed more ideas for GUOCHAO music.
I think the show itself is a nice attempt to produce something creative. But for me, I have a fixed style, and I'm still not that into pop music. Plus, the lyrics don't really resonate with me. I think I would like it more if they had more purely instrumental music.
Aside from using Chinese musical instruments to play Western-style music, we can also use Western musical instruments for Chinese classics. For example, I saw people using the saxophone to play Liangshanbo and Zhu Yingtai.
From Huang Zhan's Canghai Yishen Xiao in the 1990s to Jay Chou's Dongfeng Po in the 21st century, the inclusion of Chinese elements into popular music is not something entirely new. But here we are, and even female idol groups and rappers are getting in the action by adding traditional elements to their music and performances. Zhang Hong, ICS for CGTN, Shanghai.